exploring New Zealand with my Leica, traveling, life. That's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Guys, we are in New Zealand. We have been in New Zealand for 2 weeks, something like that. Time is a little fuzzy when you're traveling. If you haven't seen the last video, I booked a one-way here. And where we left off, I was in Auckland. I had just booked my trip further north from Auckland, left the city. And I wanted to update you guys on where we've been, what we've been up to. Before we begin, let me show you guys where we're at right now. We are in this small little beach town in New Zealand, up Northland. Paya, I believe it's called. I'm not good with the names. It is an absolutely gorgeous little town that is a lot different from being in Auckland and the hustle bustle of life in the city. And this is like a good little reset in terms of, being somewhere new. Just taking the bus here was like absolutely beautiful, seeing all the scenery. That's what I wanted to talk about a little bit, is like what it's like being out here in New Zealand in terms of what I'm experiencing. Like I said, I've only been here for like 2 weeks, but just quickly, what is it like being out here? New Zealand is comprised of 2 islands, as you guys may know. And I've traveled, I've seen a few islands. I've been to a few islands. I've been to Koh Chang, this little island in Thailand. I've been to Majorca. I've been to Madeira. I've been to the Hawaiian Islands. So I've been to a few islands, and I really love islands. I don't know why. They're just like something about them. This idea of slow island time, like where kind of everybody takes it easy. You're just on island time. You might hear that. This idea, everything's a little slower. Nobody really keeps track of time. In terms of New Zealand, I would say from what I've seen so far, kind of remains true, especially if you get out of the city, if you get out of Auckland. The city of Auckland is more like hustle bustle, still with a little sprinkling of that island time vibe. But definitely being out here, especially being by the beach, guys, it's like a chill vibe. You know what I mean? Chill vibes. People are just like chilling, straight chilling. We left off in Auckland. I got to Auckland. I landed. I don't plan anything when I travel. And I literally just started exploring. I started going around with my camera, went to the aquarium. The way that I travel, I stay in the hostels. And with the hostels, you meet a lot of people. You share a lot of notes. And just by like traveling like that, traveling without a plan, remaining open to that spontaneousness, that's like the essence of why I travel, is that like just adventure and thrill, guys. Just to keep it real. That like thrill of the unknown, of like, I genuinely have no idea what's going to happen. And it gives me just that excitement, that literally that wow factor, finding myself in moments of just like, wow, that's what I travel for. So I went to the aquarium in Auckland. I went walking around the city. I went to Mount Eden and watched sunset there and met people. And we had a few beers up top, and just like, the vibe was right, guys. The vibe was right. Definitely had some good food in Auckland, some ramen, some burgers, and went kayaking, actually. I went kayaking from like the outskirts of Auckland to this little volcanic island, Rigatoto. It was like a 4-kilometer kayak from shore to, the island. It was a little further maybe than that island off in the distance right there from where I'm at right now. And we're out there kayaking, getting to this little island. And then we got there finally, and the seas were very calm going there. We got to the island. We then hiked to the summit. We ate lunch up there, and we're just like looking out at this beautiful view. The kayak instructor, Ed, my boy Ed, got to give him a shout out. If you're ever in Auckland, highly recommend. Talk to Ed. He's at Ferg Kayak. Just super cool guy, super knowledgeable guy on the area. When we came back from that island to where we have to dock the kayaks, that's when things got really interesting. And these are like the type of moments I love to travel for. It was a little choppy out there, guys, not gonna lie. And you have to cross this channel of traffic in terms of ferries, in terms of recreational boaters, people out there with these big boats. these like, it wasn't a barge, but like these big vessels, that sort of thing. So you're on these like little kayaks crossing this channel of like boats with these massive waves. It's windy. And there's like some moments where I'm like, oh shit, I think we might like flip over. But we made it back. We made it back in one piece. Nobody flipped over. It was just fun. Like that type of stuff right there. It sounds insane. Like, bro, why would you do that? It's just fun. I think broadly, that's something I wanted to touch up on. Just like life, traveling, being here, being in these like beautiful moments. Like why travel? Why do all this type of stuff? There was a guy that was sitting right here beside me earlier. I wish I would have recorded the conversation. It was a great conversation. But this like young 22-year-old dude from Cali, you know, what he told me, this is his first big trip solo. And prior to that, he would travel with his parents and his dad would plan everything out to the hour and literally have like full itinerary, exactly what we're going to be doing, where we're going to be eating, all the whole nine, you guys know, super planned out. So here he is in New Zealand, first big trip, first time solo traveling, first time abroad, booked a one-way. He has a 1-year visa. He has no fucking idea what he's doing, but he's out here. And he took that leap of faith. He's figuring it out, you know? He put himself out here. He took that plunge. Like it feels like you jump off a cliff into just this deep, never-ending abyss. That's what it feels like. And I'm like, fuck yeah, bro. Like, that's what's up. 22 years old. And that takes me back to like when I took that plunge. I went to Thailand and I stayed out there for 2 months and just traveled all around Thailand, backpacked Thailand, stayed in these hostels. First time staying in hostels, first time like abroad overseas. That was a few years ago. That was when I was like 23. 24, something like that. And I was just like out there coming out of that moment in my life. I was like, man, I want to do more of this. This traveling thing is great. Like, you know, Thailand's pretty cheap. Thailand's very, I would say, easy to navigate. If you're like looking for your first solo adventure, guys, go to Thailand. Rich in nature, has a lot of beautiful nature, rich in history. The people of Thailand are just very nice, very good people. Be respectful. Don't go in there and be crazy and belligerent. Be respectful of the place. But it's a very nice place to go travel. And I think, like, at its core, being respectful, being polite, being nice, do that anywhere. That is like that's a human duty, I say. Like, be nice, be respectful of the place. Being nice, being friendly, coming up with a smile takes you a very long way. And it's a very universal language that we all humans speak. Even out here, guys, even in New Zealand, I find the people are very friendly. You know, you hear that like the Kiwis are very nice and friendly. That's true. From what I've experienced, people are very nice. And I think it definitely revolves around how you present yourself. And that's something I wanted, obviously, I just said. So definitely being nice takes you a very long way. That revolving idea of traveling, of like, speaking with people that have lived a little bit, that have seen, you know, a lot of their life already, and they have more days behind them than ahead of them. The one recurring theme with talking with people like that is like wishing they had traveled more, wishing they had, you know, been more adventurous. It's risky business. You know, it is. Traveling, taking that leap, solo traveling. It's not easy. But it's so fucking worth it. You never know who you're going to meet on the road. It's daunting. It's scary. But it's so worth it. You're going to learn so much about yourself, about the world, about people, about different cultures. And you're going to be able to build a life with a wide perspective. Like, what do you want? And that's something I'm still learning about myself. I'm 25. And I'm still learning. I'm giving myself some years to go travel, to go experience, to go explore, to see what I ultimately want. I want to have just a very wide perspective, if you will. Where do I even want to live? I don't even know. Like, that's one of the reasons I'm traveling, is to possibly find another home. It's like this idea of, I'm an American. I born and raised in America, lived in America, and I just recently started traveling. And just that like idea, you know, America's a great country. We have our problems. Everywhere has their fucking problems. But like, you can move. You can, you know, pack your stuff and go live somewhere else. And that idea was not a thing for me a few years back. And now I've been traveling. I'm like, bro, if you want to go move and live in a foreign country, fuck it. You know, we're at this point in this world where it's relatively easy to go move somewhere else. And I don't know, that just never dawned on me a few years back. So now I'm traveling, I'm seeing things, and I'm like keeping in the back of my mind where I might want to live, where I might want to call home, where I might want to build home, should I say. And New Zealand is like, oh, man, the nature out here is stunning. The views, the people, the food, what I've had so far, it's so nice. Like, I could definitely see this vision of mine. I could see myself putting a little tiny house right here, having a nice sliding door that opens up pretty much half the house. And I'm like in the lab, in the studio, working on whatever I'm working on, cooking up in the kitchen. And this is what I open my door to. And I hear the sound of the waves crashing and I feel the breeze. And it's just a nice, beautiful view. The house doesn't have to be grandiose. It doesn't have to be a McMansion, but something with a beautiful view, something peaceful, tucked in nature where I can go to and have peace. And in the backyard, I can go on these crazy extravagant hikes. New Zealand is up there. I haven't even been to the South Island, but from what I've heard, the South Island is just like this times 10 in terms of the nature, just stunning nature. So we're gonna check that out, definitely. So that's where I'm at in life. I'm just like traveling. I'm experiencing, I'm loving photography. That's what I'm gonna keep doing for some time. So if you're new here, if you've been here, welcome back. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for tuning in and tagging along on this journey. You know, I feel like definitely this is a journey. And I just wanted to document this journey. You know, I have faith in this journey. It's going to work out in the end. And this is going to be like a living documentation of a journey lived for others to hopefully be able to navigate. You know, that's the way I look at it. Like, if I'm bushwhacking through the freaking jungle and I'm chopping down a bunch of freaking leaves and whole bunch of stuff, clearing this path, you know, it's this like very crazy path that leads to a very crazy destination, but that path is going to be there for others to follow. And that's basically what I want to, why I'm doing this, why I'm documenting this journey. It's like, I'm figuring this out in real time. If you made it this far, I'm just gonna like keep it a buck with you guys. That's kind of where we're headed, you know, in this direction of just figuring things out, of documenting it in real time, of keeping it real, of traveling and sharing my travels and sharing my journey. You know, I'm at a point in life where I feel like with traveling too, it kind of gives you this sense of like, not like macho confidence, but I feel I definitely have more confidence of who I am as a person. Like just who I was a few years ago to who I am now. I feel a lot more confident in myself of like who I am. Just this like being proud of who you are, you know, your imperfections. Yeah, I'm not perfect. I'm just a guy out here trying to figure life out just like everybody else. And I'm okay with that. I'm getting okay with things in life. Like, okay, you know, I'm okay with not having it all figured out. And I think that's like what confidence is. I think confidence is just like being okay with not knowing it all and still doing it and still going and still keeping one foot after the next, still taking the next step. That's confidence. That's all it is. So yeah, traveling, I guess, gives you a little confidence. Stepping out into the unknown gives you a little confidence. And I'm out here full sending it, guys. Full sending it. So that's what we're going to be doing going forward. It's just documenting this lovely life. This is the view we're looking at right now. Just sitting here. I've been sitting here for like the last 45 an hour, just sitting here thinking about life. If you want to hear more of this type of stuff, definitely go check out my newsletter, link in the description. That's like a straight path to my consciousness and just exclusive thoughts, exclusive images, exclusive like what's happening in this life. So definitely check that out. Newsletter, link in the description. Hopefully you guys like this video. With all that, I will see you all in the next one. Peace.